Today on Drawbli.
I am drawing dancers.
Hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Abby.
And we're drawing together because art is better with friends.
So click that subscribe button if you're new around here.
And don't forget to check out our guidebook on daily drawing, linked below.
So I'm drawing dancers. And this is a quantity over quality approach.
Wow.
I'm drawing a lot of them. This was a Zen session of drawing where
I love Zen sessions of drawing.
Yes, there's no pressure here, just flow state, just when I'm ready to be done with one, I move on to the next one, etc. I do a line pass at a bunch of reference images, and then on many, I go back and slap paint on them. And when I say I slap paint on them, please,
keep that in mind.
Don't hold your breath. I quite enjoy the line process, but I discipline myself to practice the painting process, and it shows. But there was one dancer that I love the reference on so much that I did go in and do a little bit more detail work on that one. So stay tuned for a later dancer.
I love how exact you're being with your lines. You're not like hesitating. With me, I feel like I'm a lot softer and scratchier, trying to plan things out, and you're like, boop, 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 boop. That's where it goes. Done, done, done. Like,
yeah. Well, something I've been thinking about lately is, of course, thicker outlines on the edges, using thinner lines to represent volume towards the middle.
Nice line weight, yeah.
And I wasn't thinking about this here because I hadn't read it yet, but we did have a comment a while back from one of our watchers, Old Dude Draws, aka Lord Backdoor. Thank you again for that really thoughtful comment about using line weight in different ways to convey, things that are closer to the front, things that are farther away, things that are larger, things that are smaller. It was a great comment, and I actually was like, oh, that is so thoughtful. So thanks again for that, because I actually really benefited by that.
Just helped you to think about it a little more.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, so I drew all these dancers because they're just a great way to practice like bodies and forms. And really something I admire a lot about other artists is their way of getting like subtle shading and gradient shifts on torsos. So that was something I wanted to start to dip my toe into a little bit, is like torso. So these Raktavi dancers, I think that's how you say that. It's the traditional name for belly dancers, would be a great source for that because they're fun, they're exciting, they've got cool poses, and lots of torso practice.
Belly dancing looks like it requires crazy muscle control for muscles that most people don't even know exist inside their bodies.
Well, we haven't talked about this in a long time, so I don't think I'll be repeating this to many people, but a friend and I did just for fun, like a 6-week belly dancing class. Like we met once a week at this place, and it was super interesting. Like the instructor looked a lot like this lady. She was just super amazing, super strong and talented. And we were over there just like, oh my God, how do we move like this? Like it took, I would be practicing these things called rolls at home, and on her they were like a traditional roll that's really cool, and on me I'm like, I look like I'm trying to hurl or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's muscles that are super well trained for
just incredible.
Things you wouldn't normally use.
The control is amazing.
Or I think maybe the better word would even be dexterity.
Yeah.
It'd be like me trying to draw with my non-dominant hand.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
Compared to me or compared to a master.
It's just
drawing.
crazy how not practiced I am in that, because I didn't do any dance growing up. Also, this is obviously not a belly dancer, but I just threw her in there because I actually, a lot of these later on, as Pinterest started throwing up more and more relatively associated ideas, I kind of went away from strict belly dancer reference.
I think you will be forgiven for that.
I think so too. I just wanted to explain that I know that's not a belly dancer or a Raktavi dancer. So yeah, it's a very, very difficult art. Look up some videos of professionals doing it, and you will just be blown away because the control they have over their bodies is just incredible. I'm doing new things now. I don't take those lessons anymore.
Okay, so now you do CrossFit. That's the current exercise thing that you're doing.
I always follow the fun in art and in working out.
So how would you compare the difficulty of CrossFit to something like belly dancing?
Wow, that is such a great question because obviously they're super different. And CrossFit has like a lot of gymnastic moves that do require me to like use control over my body in ways that I'm not used to. But that's like handstand push-ups and these weird like swinging toe to bar movements that do take a lot of practice, but they're not they're not
as technical,
and they're not meant to be like aesthetically pleasing the way dancing is. So totally different thing, but also requires a lot of like fine control of very specific muscles, which is super interesting to practice. Drawing also requires fine control of super specific muscles, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, yeah.
Yeah. Fine motor control, as it were.
It is a very difficult thing where you have the ability to maybe picture something in your head or certain knowledge about a subject like lighting, and your hand just unfortunately can't make it happen.
Yeah, it's so true.
So this is your slapped paint.
This is really slapped on paint, but I enjoyed slapping it on here. And you never know where you're going to find your mental state as you're drawing. You could be in a really focused mental state where you're ready to really like buckle down and do things right. Or you could be in a state where you're just like, I'm here, I'm doing this, but it's not going to be a masterpiece today. It's just is what it is, kind of. I did like this drawing a lot. I don't know what it is about this one. I liked the way her face turned out. That drawing was probably one of my favorites that I did.
Yeah, it's great. I like this one a lot too.
Yeah, these are fun little sketches.
Yeah, I mean, you said quantity over quality, but I wasn't expecting so much quantity. You did a lot of these.
Yeah.
I love the colors that you picked for that one.
Thank you. So this is the one where I love the light on this reference image. I love all of it. So I did go a little longer on this one to try to capture some of that lighting from the reference that I just was really drawn to.
This does appear to be studio lit outdoors at sunset to get this specific effect in photo.
Oh yeah, it looks like there's like a big
on the
light
ground,
like next to her.
There's also a little bit of reflected light on here.
Yeah, well, it's very cool, and I don't care how they did it. It's awesome.
No, it's super cool.
Yeah, and I do care how they did it. It's a craft too, lighting. So yeah, I went in and tried to paint this one a little more detailed. Again, I didn't take it like to a super polished state. It's letting myself be just very loose with it. Keeping a lot of the joy in art. I think this was a very important practice for me in that
I think you should
aspect.
work on something exactly as long as you want to, and no more.
As a non-professional, I think that is so true.
Yeah, you mentioned my morning routine earlier, and part of that involves 30 minutes of drawing, and that's where I created those nights. Mm-hmm. So one each day for the past few days.
That's awesome. So how have you liked that? So is this a newer routine for you?
Newish.
Yeah. How's that been going? I've been working more, so I haven't seen you in the mornings as much.
I've been doing it for maybe a month or two, maybe a month. I actually don't even remember now, but I think over a month, maybe two. Mm-hmm. It's going well. I think I've maybe skipped a couple days in that time.
Yeah.
Just actually to focus on work more.
Oh, yeah. That's fair. But that's so nice, though, to have like a standard daily routine. Is it a lot different on the days where I'm here being, just also existing in this space?
If anything, it's just slightly slower because I'm talking to you and stuff and interacting with you. But
yeah.
Other
that makes
than that,
sense.
no.
I mean, I wouldn't feel bad for, existing and disrupting, but I was just curious because there's so many different things in our lives that can disrupt our regular routines. And I think a lot of that probably comes down to like the people you live with and their needs and expectations around you.
Abby places hand on shoulder. You're not disrupting my morning routine.
I know. I think I'm just jealous. I want a morning routine.
Well, you too can have a morning routine if you send me 5 easy payments of $19.99.
Oh.
And that there's no period or comma in there. That is $1,999.
That's a lot.
And this is a lot of drawing. A lot of amazing dancers.
Oh, thank you. You can tell they're just like the result of a squiggly afternoon of making delightful
Wait, you did all
squiggles.
these in one day?
I think
That's insane if you did all these in one day.
I did all the drawings and most of the painting in one day. The one girl that I spent a little more time on the paint
With the ring.
I think I worked on her a separate day. But no, yes, these were all done on the same day because they did not take me a lot of time.
And if there's something that you want to do all in one day, I think it should be clicking that like and subscribe button.
And don't forget to check out our guidebook on daily drawing, linked below.
And this is the part where we say
Goodbye.
Goomba.
Ben, when you...
Yes, Abby, I will go belly dancing
Thank
with
you.
you. Oh
I
my God.
love that you knew I was going to say that.
I thought you'd never ask.
Oh my God, you were just waiting for an invitation. Oh, that's sweet.